All right, on that, we're going to go into the issue of school project. We at the NEC level, seeing all these things you mentioned, like people reinventing the wheel, people duplicating efforts, disconnects and so on. Too many cooks spoil the broth. We had a case here where the president illustrated that just 6 people who were dedicated were able to raise 4 million naira and make 5 million naira and put some things in place. 4.5. We all know that we have about 10,000 members. Even if only 1,000 of them are serious on quotes. 1,000 people who all decide to, in a year, bring 50,000 naira each. That is 50 million naira. You can imagine what can happen with the school, 50 million naira. Now, for those who don't know, you return to Igbo school. Now, for those who don't know, this year in particular, the NEC took an initiative to explore the problem. We did what we call an infrastructure audit in the school because of this problem, and we took time to analyze at the behest of the SBMC, the School Board Management Committee, the head of which is our dear principal, Alhaji Yawa. Most of us were trained by him. They called us and they told us, look, our brothers, people are not children anymore. This is the school you attended. Most of you have children in schools that are bigger than this school. The school you are in is in the same condition, if not worse, now as it was in 1984, 1989, 1994. I mean, who's going to do it? If you're waiting for federal government to do it, you know your country. What can people do for us? They now tasked us to focus on 3 areas: electricity, water, and dormitory rehabilitation. So the school formally asked us, the ex-students, to try to support or play a role in helping to upgrade and repair the infrastructure of the school. It's in a poor state, as most of us know, and we can make our own little contribution one way or the other to help everything, move forward. Others have played their role, the government, the PTA, and the school authorities directly, but they still need help. So we have a vision that they've shared with us that they call Kwali 2020, where we can reset it to be a center of excellence in terms of certain aspects of facility and others. So we'll now hear from the principal directly what they need and how we should play a role.
Okay, thank you very much. We have identified 3 areas that we would like the old students to assist the school. One is the area of electricity. Currently, the school is running on genset, which is not good enough after all these years of establishment. The school is just running the genset about 3 hours a day, which is 1, costly, and 2, inadequate. So we would like the old students, using your positions wherever you are now, or using your pocket, I know you have filled your pocket, so to assist the oncoming collides. 2 is the water supply. The water supply, currently, the boreholes, whatever we have there, can supply only about 56,000 liters of water in a day. Whereas going by population, we need about 140 or 160,000 liters per day. You can see there is a huge gap. We want you, the engineers among you, the philanthropists there, you use your initiative now and come out in masses to help the school. The third area is the hostels. Some students are still living in those hostels that that were constructed in the early days and called temporary hostel. They are still there as hostels. They are still being used as hostels. Well, I'm not saying that you should come and build new ones, but if you can, we'll appreciate it. But even these old ones need to be renovated. In fact, it need to be rehabilitated, so to make them good enough for living. So I'm appealing to you to come and assist the school in these 3 areas, so that by 2020, we'll have the problems in this area will have been overcome.
Most of us know what we gain from Kwali. That's why we're active as an owner. Yet we will not send our children there for any reason. That is very sad. The good thing is that after we did our audit, we saw that the upgrades that we could help with were what I would call feasible at our alumni level. Let's give it a figure, say 50 million naira would be the total. As the president said, we didn't say anybody should take 50 million naira and give to anybody. In fact, if you bring the money, the NEC is going to ask you to hold your money. The NEC is not interested in levying people for that. What the NEC is interested in is coordinating the projects,
yes,
which have been voluntarily adopted by sets, by chapters, or by individuals.
yes.
The issue is, let's make Kwali great again. As somebody says, let's make America great again. And how would we do it? Well, we did that first level audit, and we now have an internal committee. We call it the Kwali Project 2020. The vision is that by the end of the year 2020, Kwali would be unrecognizable in the positive sense. And we now have to galvanize ourselves together and use all this goodwill, which we've all experienced within our sets, to say, look, if your set can handle this borehole here and your set can handle this dormitory here, let's work together. We at the NEC will only coordinate, will inform people, and will relate with the school, because school wants to deal with one entity. But it is sets that would fund, that would execute, that would take the credit for it, and that would even oversee going forward. So it's an issue of galvanizing. We're not levying. However, if someone comes and says, I have some money, I don't know what to do, we'll get individuals who want to cooperate as individuals into their own, we'll call them project sponsors.
Yes.
It's okay, you have a bit of money, you've given your set, you want to do on your own. You and you and you, would you mind please putting a new toilet here? Would you mind please putting solar panels here so that those boys stop jumping fence because there's no light? You know, things like that. So Project Kwali 2020, we have a blueprint of it, we've developed it, we have circulated it, we're going to promote it. What we really want is the engagement. Let people be asking the hard questions, the critical questions, but not idly, not those talkers who don't act. Those who want to act should ask. For instance, a person asked a question and said, look, he doesn't mind contributing, but how do we know it will be properly used? I said, well, that's a good question. We're going to have the best ever auditing system, project tracking, project auditing. It will be transparent, it will be thorough. So it's left for you now to participate or not, but the lack of transparency will no longer be an excuse for someone to say they're not participating. Now, having said that, we'd like everyone to take this home, think about it, and get back to Secretariat. The details on Project Kwali 2020 are published on our Facebook page, as well as on our manual. We have a help desk with the phone number and an email. Either way, by the end of November 2019, the ball is going to roll. Every set will do their part.